Account-based marketing is a strategic approach that combines targeted, insight-led marketing with sales to increase mindshare or brand recall, strengthen relationships, and drive growth within specific new and existing accounts. The communication medium we're going to focus on within ABM today, no points for guessing, is video. With the number of digital video viewers rising every day, as far as formats go, video marketing has consistently been an extremely efficient ROI magnet. The only caveat here, make meaningful and relevant videos. Videos have been known to boost conversions, they allow you to say more, but most importantly, videos build trust. Right from product walkthroughs all the way down to personalized video messages, videos scream value from the rooftops. It's this sense of personalization and trust that makes videos an incredible fit within your ABM strategy. Because after all, that's what ABM is all about. To bring in some perspective, let's take a look at an example. The video you're going to be looking at won 2019's Video in Business Award for the category Video Selling. This is a brilliant example of how persuasive, personalized videos can get.
Hey guys, this is Frankie over at Dynamic Signal. I say guys because I'm actually going to be sending this video to a couple of you. I don't want to have to do it over and over again. So this is to Micah, Luke, Jeff, Diana, Kathy, Erica, and Angie. So this is my lunch for today. You'll see here blazing. So I'm going to be eating some of these blazing wings for you while giving my pitch. So should be fun. This is me happy before trying this. So here we go. Let's get a nice, these are nice and juicy. Yeah, it's a good looking one. Okay, so let's have some fun. So the reason that I wanted to reach out to you guys the reason why I wanted to reach out to you guys was we're working with others. Oh my God. Working with others similar in your industry, such as Wawa and others alongside that. And what we do is we help connect employee communications from the top down. And I really would love to just set aside maybe 10 to 15 minutes to just have an introductory conversation with you to see what your initiatives are for the 2019-2020 season. So if you guys wouldn't mind reaching back out, I'd be happy to set up some time for you guys and maybe talk about how great your sauces are. And we'll go from there. Looking forward to it, guys. We'll talk then. Bye.
We have with us today Amit Deshpande, who is the Global Head of Marketing for Consumer, Retail and Logistics at Infosys. Amit has been someone who time and again has championed the influence of video content across the marketing and sales funnel, be it field marketing, product marketing, and of course, account-based marketing. So you've championed ABM and the impact of video within ABM for a long time now. What role does video play in your ABM strategy?
I think video is probably one of the most important mediums for communicating a message to the account-based marketing stakeholders. We've seen a surge in social media consumption, which in turn has also seen more consumption of micro content. Right. Also, there is a huge volume of content being published by various organizations targeting the same set of stakeholders. You need a way to differentiate the message. At the same time, in addition to that differentiation, you need to be able to tell stories, and stories that can, in a way, wherever possible, touch the head to the heart, right? And videos do that most effectively. I have personally seen that when it comes to videos and how you use them, of course, matters a lot. It matters what channels you're using to communicate. And for channels where you are getting a limited attention span, a video can potentially help hold their attention for a little longer than what otherwise would have happened. And in more interpersonal kind of conversation opportunities, a video can help you take your pitch in a more compact manner to your target audience, especially as you frame the message uh, tailored to the specific personas that you're targeting.
So, are you seeing a greater focus on using video as a medium in ABM? And is the pandemic fueling this momentum further?
Yes, although I would imagine that the consumption of video would have nonetheless increased, but due to the pandemic, the fact that a lot of people are working from home has also meant that the consumption of digital content has gone up, and which essentially has also meant that we need to send differentiated messages that are presented in an interesting format to consume. So I would say even things like what would earlier have been published simply as a point of view or a case study, we would try and create video-based assets out of these, which provide a nutshell view of what that asset is. Because we want to make sure that at least the core message of what we're trying to communicate is reaching the audience in a interesting manner, which is very easy to consume. And this in turn will then lead them to consume the longer format of the asset, right? So in that sense, whether we use the video as a teaser or whether we use it to communicate a longer message, whether it's an overview of a relationship or an overview of our of some of the key milestones or key recent achievements, or it could also be sharing a perspective on a new idea, some innovations. It Video becomes a very interesting way to present this because often you don't get that kind of time, right?
What, in your opinion, are some of the biggest hurdles to ABM today? And how do you think videos can help in overcoming those challenges?
A lot of clients are now based remotely. Many of them are not even in office. Means that the ability to target them through some of the more personalized channels that we would have implemented are no longer available. What that also means is then you have to innovate uh, using digital technology to provide a similar level of personalization, and the kind of intimacy that we have when two persons are, or maybe a group of 10 execs are meeting in person. How can you simulate some of those things, right? So at the same time, my view is a digital version of these interventions should not try to mimic what happened in the physical world. You need to take advantage of some unique capabilities that the digital world essentially allows you to do, and implement those ideas, because what that will mean is as we go further, once things start opening up, and they already are, now that vaccines are more freely available, uh, the newer interventions that were introduced during the period of the pandemic, can coexist with some of the more traditional approaches that we followed in the past, and each find a niche for themselves. For example, live streaming video, right, is something that is pretty big these days. And I'm not talking about just the webinars. Uh, you are able to today host conversations in smaller groups, drive more interactive formats for conversation with people who are geographically distributed, right? Planning some of these programs would mean that you have to manage people's calendars, their travel schedules. There's enormous logistics not only for an organizer to take care of, but also for the attendees. And this, in a way, also drives a lot of attrition. The conversion of a longer format video asset into smaller snackable bites is becoming pretty popular, because it allows you to run a campaign much longer. It allows you to allow your consumers to consume the content in those bite-sized pieces, which is probably the attention span you're going to get from them anyways.
Since we discussed live streaming as a video format, here's a video we made for Lenovo on selling smarter by knowing what to pitch.
Is a very exciting live stream coming to you from Vietnam on selling smarter by knowing what to pitch. Why do employees choose an organization? Why do they stay? What makes them leave? What role does technology play in achieving a better employee experience?
The percentage of millennials today in the workforce is set to be about 30%. That's going up to be 75% by the year 2025.
So 75% of the workforce is going to be born digital.
Absolutely.
How is employee experience affecting the workplace? Well, the data is clearly showing poor employee experience equal to poor productivity.
We've got to use technology in order to bring about that change in experience as far as the employee is concerned.
With adopting the latest technology, you will be able to overcome such challenges.
It's very interesting because when you do that parallel with videos for ABM versus videos in general, one thought that instantly comes to mind is how a lot of marketers who haven't done ABM before would be looking at ABM or videos for ABM. So marketers who have tried to cast a wide and unfiltered net are often deploying this spray and pray messaging attitude. They're clearly going to have a hard time keying an effective ABM strategy down. How bespoke and tailored do you think messaging should be?
So I think it's more of horses for courses kind of an approach here. There are times when you need to have more broad-based communication. And there are use cases where you need to really look at something that is much more targeted to as small as a single executive, right? So your targeting is a function of what you really want to achieve and where it fits into your overall strategy. I don't think there is any right or wrong in this so long as it's true to the strategy that you have implemented. And I mean, executive-specific messaging, especially when you're looking at some of the senior executives, who will give you a limited amount of time to make your pitch, right? You need to put your best foot forward. Now, you also want to ensure that you are able to consistently send that message through various interaction points with that executive. Videos, in a way, provide you that consistency because the person delivering that message can vary from interaction to interaction, but video provides that sense of continuity to how you are communicating that message. So as your conversations progress, you can have a thematic approach. You can have certain key messages being reinforced consistently, which in a natural conversational style sometimes may not get reinforced in the same way as what you may be able to do in a video.
Absolutely. Borrowing from that thought, how hard is it to make connections feel personal at scale? And does having a face in the video talking directly to you help in making that personal connection?
If what you're trying to do is to explain an idea, then explainer video kind of an approach really helps. If you're trying to break down a complex idea, then putting a face is not necessarily going to help you. But where you are trying to establish an audience connect, where there is a deeper message that you want to communicate, right? And the phrase that I used, connecting the head to the heart, right? Those kind of messages, putting a human being in really makes a lot of difference. If you want to demonstrate commitment to the relationship, you can put the nicest of visuals, but unlike when a person, an executive is presenting that message, the authenticity in the voice, the expressions on the face, the tonality, these communicate a lot of non-verbal cues, non-verbal messages that play a significant role in establishing the connect.
While we're on the subject of personalized videos and technology, as marketers, we're extremely lucky to be living in a day and age where AI in videos has given rise to personalization opportunities that were once hard to even imagine. This is where you can leverage technology interventions such as AI-based video edits to make videos at scale.
So while we've covered a lot of these different aspects of how video can be integrated within your marketing strategy, I think one thought that really jumps into mind almost instantly is video is a really good fit for ABM as a whole and within your ABM strategy, right? So Are there any insights you would like to add on why you think video is perfect for ABM?
I think if you look at the entire ABM life cycle, right, it's a enduring relationship, right? You're in an ABM relationship between your organization and the client organizations over a few years. Imagine you are responding to a client request for a proposal. Now, even in these kind of contexts, there are ways to communicate your key messages, whether it's your win themes, whether it is your executive commitment or your approach to solutioning, right? Various types of these use cases can be communicated in the form of highly contextualized videos, theme-based videos that reinforce your core message, but also elaborate on specific messages for certain stakeholders within the decision maker and influencer ecosystem within the client organization. Again, videos become a very effective way of communicating if you have access to channels through which these videos can be distributed within the enterprise network. So they can be intranet options. You could be conducting virtual events in which you use these videos. You could create virtual innovation day events where again these videos can be used. I think it's video in that sense becomes simply a medium, right? And it's up to each marketer to decide what kind of use case is it the right fit for. It's definitely a key medium for us today in the account-based marketing framework, and I believe it's here to stay. Not just for account-based marketing, but for marketing overall. It's and especially the micro format videos I see as being very, very popular. If you look at the popularity of Vine in one day at one point in time, or TikTok these days, right? Why is there so much consumption of micro content? Right, because that's what people are used to. The workforce is getting more and more. I mean, it's the younger folks who are joining the workforce. So, the channels and the mediums that they are most accustomed to is also going to be important for us as enterprise marketers to communicate with this audience. Even if it's the employees of an enterprise that you're looking at, they are still consumers once they leave the office.
When I think of micro content and bite-sized content, do you think there is specific application points within ABM for content that is this short form?
So micro content is more useful when you're communicating to a larger group. You don't use this kind of micro content when you're communicating to very specific smaller groups. Right, there you need to be a little bit more elaborate. But when you're communicating with larger groups, that's when micro content really becomes useful, especially when you're using platforms where there is large volume of content being pushed. So if you're using LinkedIn, for example, where you're running a targeted campaign for a certain set of accounts, micro content can be very effective, especially in the social media space.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Amit. It's been an incredible conversation. And I'm sure our listeners and our viewers have learned so many different things around the use cases that you've mentioned and the experiences that you've had with your team while running ABM campaigns. It's been such a pleasure having you here on the Videocrawl. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure being here.